Hey everyone, Leanne here from Kingdom Bloggers. In this video, we're going to talk about where to promote your social content. So what is social content? In the previous video, we talked about social content versus SEO content. So social content being content that has really no SEO value, that is actually content people want more of and will engage with. So I will link that video below in case you missed it. In this video, we're going to talk about how to get it out there. Unlike SEO, which once you publish it, it'll just sort of keep giving you traffic when SEO is working. Social content does not work that way. Social content takes quite a bit more effort to actually disseminate it out and to continue getting traffic from it. And it can be exhausting, but if you set up the right strategy in the beginning, it won't require as much effort as you think. So first and foremost, if you are doing user social content, which you should be, you definitely need to be on Pinterest. Pinterest, of course, Pinterest has had its issues as well, but Pinterest, at least for now, is a little more stable. And just like with Google, it gets indexed and then it just continues to send you traffic. I have pins from 5-6 years ago that still send traffic to my website. So once Pinterest indexes your content, and you're, of course, creating content people want and people look for in Pinterest and it gets indexed, you can continue to get traffic for long after you publish the post. So if you are not using Pinterest, you need to get on that bandwagon. And it's not as easy as just making a pin and throwing it on there. Like there's levels of work you've got to do, optimizing your profile and other things. I have a couple of videos. I will link those below as well to help you get your profile set up and help you better understand how that works. But Pinterest is a must. When I lost all my Google traffic, Pinterest was still sending me 15-ish thousand visitors a month to my website. I think right now I'm around 12,000-ish for the Kingdom site. And I have two other sites with their own Pinterest account and they get traffic as well. So definitely make sure you are doing Pinterest. So the next one, now social media, of course, I know not everybody's on social media. I will tell you, if you want to succeed as a content creator, a blogger, you must be on at least one platform. Pinterest is not social media. Pinterest is search engine. You need to be on at least one platform. Why? Because people are in the social space. How can you go out into the nations and share the gospel if you're not in the place where they are? People are in social media. And I know it's overwhelming for many of you. So you have to use it mindfully, intentionally, discerningly. Follow who you need to follow, unfollow who you need to unfollow. But in these spaces where Christians hang out, where different types of people hang out, we need to be there. So I'll get off that bandwagon because that's not what this video is about. So with Facebook, you have two options. You have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And I do have videos for each of those as well on my channel. With a Facebook page, I recommend paying a small ad spend to promote your page. I think I'm doing right now $5 a day. I've been doing that for several months to build my followers, and it is working. But you also need a strategy in how you share the content. You can't just share links over and over and over on your Facebook page because Facebook just isn't going to promote that. So there is a strategy to doing it. You need to learn that strategy, create a strategy, learn how to implement it. And through your Facebook page, that's where you can share the links to all this user social content. Also, a Facebook group. Now, if you are doing Bible study kind of content, you're writing your own studies and things like that on as blog posts, Facebook group is a great way to get consistent traffic. Whatever the study you write, then disseminate it in your group as a led study, right? Where this month we're doing week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then so forth. I started doing this about a month and a half ago. So it was July, first week of July, I started it. And I nearly doubled my Facebook referral traffic. And all of the content that was the reason for the increase in traffic, you can go into Google Analytics and see which posts are sending it from Facebook. It was all the content in my study group. So I got more visitors from my study group than from my Facebook page. And so this is a really great strategy. I do have a video that sort of explains that as well. All right. So that's Facebook. I mean, Twitter, Instagram, you can't drop links. So I'm not even going to talk about Instagram. There is a way to do it. It's a little harder Twitter, same thing. You can share links there. I'm not active on Twitter, so I'm not going to speak about that. Flipboard is a newer one. Takes like 5 minutes a day. Flip your new blog post in there, flip a few other people. That is not going to give you immediate overnight success, but I think over the long term, if you continuously are doing it, it can start generating a good amount of traffic. YouTube is another way to get it out there. So you saw in the other video for my devotional post, it had a video embedded in it. So on the video on YouTube, the description below it has a link to the blog post. And I do it this way because in the blog post version, there are study questions. Actually, there's study, reflection, and practical application questions that they can download at the very end of the blog post. So in the video, I actually mention there's a link below to download the study questions to go along with whatever the topic is. Now, the video and the blog post are not like the same exact content. The video is just one perspective of whatever the topic is. But because I'm telling them, hey, go grab the study notes, they're going to go down below the video. They're going to click that link that takes them over to the actual blog post. They have to read through that and then get the question. So again, it's a way to get that traffic. And then finally, digital downloads. So all these devotionals and Bible studies that I create, I'm leading them in a Facebook group and sharing them in other places. But I'm also putting them into a tangible, printable download that I offer on Gumroad. And actually, right now, I'm doing most of them for free because they're just devotional blog posts with some study questions. You could turn it into a more like a bundle or something like that. But I'm going to show you what that looks like. So from the previous video, let me see, I'm going to show you. Where's mine? Okay, so here is the cover sheet for one of mine. Now this, guarding your heart against the idol of money. So it was this blog post that I showed you in the previous video, which was my devotional. The idol of money, how wealth can steal your soul. At the very end, there's these printable study questions and everything. So it's a blog post, is all it is, but it's a devotional. And I call it a devotional Bible study because I put scripture in it, I elaborate on it, and then there's actual study questions and reflection questions at the end. So what I do is I create a cover sheet and then this. So if they click this button, this is clickable. It's a clickable PDF when I download it. When they click this, it takes them to that blog post. Now, if this was printed out, obviously they can't click it because it's printed. So I also put a QR code that leads to that same URL. And then I upload these into Gumroad. And then what I do is I create a free product on Gumroad. So with Gumroad, you can upload free products and people can download them for free or they can offer you a tip. And I do get both. But I create this mock-up. I'm calling it a free Guarding Against the Idol of Money devotional study. Tells them what they get. And what they're going to download is this. It's like 2 pages. So it's this and this. And then again, on here's a clickable link or a QR code that can be scanned that goes to the thing. So I create the Gumroad listing. So anyone shopping in Gumroad will find it. Let me unshare my screen here. In addition to the Pinterest pins that I already created for the blog post, the actual devotional post, so I'll create 5 or 6 pins to go on different boards. I'll then create pins for the free product, right? So now I have pins going to the direct URL. I have pins going to the free product URL, which when they click it will take them back to the actual URL. It's a lot of this. And this way, there's multiple avenues of opportunity for traffic. Additionally, the links to this devotional study post, that might be next week's Monday email topic. And so the title of it is a lot more click worthy than, Monday's, devotional or whatever. So whatever the topic of the devotional is will be the subject line and it'll say, hey, da, da, da. And then click here to, read this week's devotional or whatever. So now I'm getting email traffic as well. So we have Pinterest traffic, we have Facebook group or page traffic, maybe Flipboard traffic, YouTube traffic, Gumroad traffic, and more Pinterest traffic. And then anywhere else you want to share it. I mean, honestly, you can really share these anywhere. So how do I turn this into an evergreen? Well, obviously the day I share it on Facebook is the day it'll get traffic, but Facebook after a few days, nobody clicks those links anymore. In the Facebook group, when I'm leading the study, the week or day that I share it in the group, I'll get traffic from it as well. And then Pinterest is your evergreen, because as you're putting those multiple pins into Pinterest, you can't just put one pin. You have multiple boards with similar titles, Bible study lesson, Bible study for beginners. These are all board titles. So I make however many boards I have that are under Bible study or devotional, that's how many pins I make, spread them out, post over a period of time. In another month or two, I'll make another batch of them. So it's constantly refreshing. So Pinterest will be your evergreen opportunity. A year from now, that blog post can still be getting traffic from Pinterest. Also, the Gumroad method, creating these free. And here's the thing, you might think, well, you put all this effort into it, why don't you sell it? My goal is not the sell, like the money from a sale, S-A-L-E. I'm not trying to make money off of these. My income is derived from the ad revenue on my website. So I give mine for free because ultimately, if you're wanting ad revenue, you need more traffic to your blog or to your YouTube channel. So if you make them only for sale, the only traffic you're going to get is the few people who might actually buy it. Whereas if you create these, and they're very simple, it's literally a blog post. So in my own opinion, I don't think that's something I should be charging for. But by making it as a freebie, you're providing free resources to help people better understand scripture. But you can also use that as a foundation for a bigger study product. So this is just a single devotional with a few study questions. You could turn it into like a 4-lesson study based on that topic and then create a sales funnel. All that can be done in Gumroad. But again, my goal is not the money from the sales. I am more focused on getting traffic back to these pieces of content. And so Gumroad is a really great way to do that. And not only that, aside from the traffic within Gumroad, if you have affiliates through Gumroad, they can then promote it for you. And so now you have an even bigger audience and potential for traffic. And then, of course, your email list and all the things. So your Pinterest and your Gumroad can really be an evergreen method of traffic, whereas the social media, Facebook group, Facebook page, Twitter, whatever else, those are more, you'll get the traffic every time you share it kind of thing. And so that's kind of it. I mean, again, I did say at the beginning, there's a little more work involved, but if you're only doing it in the social space, you're going to be doing it in the social space. In other words, if the only place you do it is Facebook, you're always going to be having to share it on Facebook. So I can't stress enough how important it is to understand and utilize Pinterest, but also to look at these other avenues such as Gumroad and offer your studies for free. Now, even if you charge for them on Gumroad, you can still offer them free elsewhere. So there's nowhere that it says you can't do that, but it's strategizing for long-term returns on the work that you've done. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I hope everything made sense. If you have any questions, drop them below or hop over to the Facebook group and I would love to help you figure it out. All right, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.